Hi, little adventurers. I'm Mia, your bedtime story magician. Are you ready to embark on a magical adventure? Gently close your eyes, snuggle under your warm blanket, and let me take you into a dreamland full of surprises. Tonight, we're joining little cat Lucy as she rides a mysterious rainbow balloon up to the clouds. What surprises will she find? What challenges will her friends face? And what incredible secrets are hidden at the top of the rainbow? Relax, take a deep breath, and let's dive into this wonderful story together. In Forest Park, the sun was just peeking over the horizon, its golden light spilling quietly down like warm fingers brushing the leaves, painting the whole forest in a soft orange glow. Little cat Lucy lived in a tiny wooden house, its roof covered with green moss, and its doorstep surrounded by a ring of colorful wildflowers. Red ones like little lanterns, purple ones like dreamy stars, and yellow ones like the sun's smiling face. A set of wind chimes hung by her window, tinkling softly in the breeze like a gentle lullaby. Lucy was lying lazily on her small bed, covered with a blue fuzzy blanket embroidered with twinkling stars and a plump white cloud. She rubbed her eyes, stretched out with a big yawn, her ears twitching slightly, when suddenly she heard a faint tap-tap sound coming from outside her window, as if something was knocking. Curious, she opened her round green eyes, slowly climbed out of bed, stepped onto the soft wooden floor, tiptoed over, and pushed the window open. Wow! A colorful balloon was floating right there, red like a sweet apple, blue like the endless sky, yellow like the warm sun, and a touch of green like the fresh sprouts in the forest. The balloon swayed gently in the morning breeze as if saying, "Come play with me." Lucy's eyes grew wide, her tail shooting up high. She reached out with her little paw and grabbed the balloon, noticing a tiny note tied to it. Squinting, she read the crooked handwriting. "Fly to the top of the rainbow for a surprise." Her heart started beating faster, like a little drum tapping in her chest. She whispered to herself, "The top of the rainbow? A surprise? What magical thing is this? I have to find out." She didn't even bother putting on her shoes, snatched the balloon, and dashed out the door. The grass outside was still wet with sparkly dew, the coolness tickling her paws, making her giggle. The forest was quiet in the morning, with only the birds chirping cheerfully in the treetops. Lucy ran along a mossy path, the wildflowers on both sides swaying in the wind as if cheering, "Go, Lucy! Find out what it is!" Lucy's first thought was her best friend, little dog Eddie. She walked slowly toward Eddie's house, hearing a faint crunch-crunch sound from inside. His little cabin had a messy pile of firewood by the door, and a crooked mailbox with a goofy dog drawing on it. She knocked, but no one answered, so she peeked inside. Oh my! Little dog Eddie was in the yard, gnawing on an extra big bone, his mouth covered in mud and a bit of grass stuck to his nose, looking absolutely hilarious. Lucy waved her paw and called softly, "Little dog Eddie, come quick! We're going to fly to the top of the rainbow." Eddie looked up, the bone still in his mouth, mumbling, "The top of the rainbow? That sounds so high I'm a little scared." His ears flopped down, his round eyes wide like two black grapes, trembling slightly with nerves. Lucy strolled over, gave his back a gentle pat, and said kindly, "Don't be afraid. With me here, we'll fly nice and steady." Pointing at the balloon, she smiled. "Look how pretty it is. Maybe there's a tasty bone waiting for you up there." Eddie's ears perked up at the word bone, his eyes lighting up. He licked his lips, dropped a bone, and said, "Really? Well, if you say so, I'll give it a try." He shook the dirt off his fur, stood up, and followed Lucy to the middle of the yard. Lucy held the balloon high and said, "Hold on tight, we're about to take off." Eddie's paws shook a little, but he stretched them out and grabbed the balloon firmly. Lucy counted, 1, 2, 3, fly. The balloon began to rise slowly, and they felt the grass slipping away beneath their feet. Lucy said happily, "Eddie, look, we're flying." Eddie peeked down, saw the trees shrinking, and quickly shut his eyes, saying, "We're really up. I'm holding on tight." The balloon carried them over a lush green meadow dotted with tiny wildflowers, red, yellow, and a sprinkle of white, like stars scattered on the ground. Bees buzzed around as if saying, "You're so brave." Lucy reached out to touch a flower, but the balloon was already climbing higher. Suddenly, a figure hopped out from a nearby bush. It was little Rabbit Max. He wore a red sweater, his long ears flopping like big fans, and his fluffy tail wiggled back and forth. His big eyes locked on the balloon, and he shouted, "Wow, what's that? It's so pretty, I want to go." Max bounced over excitedly, nearly bumping into Lucy. Lucy laughed. Of course you can. Join us. Max leaped up happily, grabbing a corner of the balloon, and the three friends held on together as they soared even higher. The balloon climbed up and up, Max's ears flapping in the wind. He peeked down and saw the forest turning into a green carpet, the trees like tiny toys. He whispered, "This is so high, what if we fall?" His voice quivered like a leaf in the breeze. Eddie opened his eyes, stretched out a paw, and grabbed Max's hand, saying, "Don't worry, I've got you." Lucy added, "That's right, the three of us together have nothing to fear." Max relaxed a bit, giving a small smile, and said, "Okay then, let's get to the rainbow top." The three friends clung to the balloon, sailing toward the sky. Lucy pointed ahead. "Look, the rainbow's right there, it's like a colorful bridge." Eddie nodded. "It's really beautiful," Max chirped. "Will there be carrots up there? I'd love some carrots." The balloon floated over treetops and crossed a shimmering stream, the water sparkling in the sunlight like a silver ribbon. The breeze blew gently, and the rainbow grew closer. Lucy said, "We're almost there, are you ready?" Eddie replied, "I'm holding tight." Max said, "I'm ready too." But suddenly, a big gust of wind hit, and the balloon wobbled like a disobedient top, nearly crashing into a tall oak tree. Lucy shouted, "Hold on!" Eddie and Max gripped harder as the balloon spun in the wind, the oak's branches brushing against it with a rustle-rustle sound. Lucy gasped, "That was close." Just then, a figure peeked out from the branches. It was little Panda Bella. She wore a green jacket, holding a long bamboo stick, her eyes shining bright. She yelled, "Grab my bamboo stick!" Lucy, Eddie, and Max reached out together, pulling the stick as Bella tugged back, steadying the balloon in midair. Bella hopped down, clapped her paws, and said, "That was close. I want to go to the rainbow top, too." Lucy smiled. "What are we waiting for? Let's go together." Bella nodded eagerly, climbed onto the balloon, and the four friends rose higher. Bella said, "I heard the rainbow top has magical stuff, maybe bamboo candy." Lucy replied, "Then let's find out." Eddie added, "And bones?" Max chimed in, "And carrots?" Their chatter and laughter floated in the wind. The balloon sailed past fluffy white clouds, soft like cotton candy. Lucy reached out to touch one, feeling its cool, damp fluff, and said, "These clouds are so soft, like a big pillow." Bella nodded, "Yeah, like my bamboo bed." They flew for a while longer until they reached the rainbow's peak. The balloon gently landed on a cushy cloud, and in the middle sat a tiny rainbow egg, glowing with a warm light like a shining gem. Lucy tilted her head and said, "What's this?" She tapped it lightly, and with a crack, the egg split open. Out hopped a tiny rainbow bird, its feathers as colorful as the balloon, like it was wearing a sparkling rainbow coat. It flapped its wings and sang a cheerful song, clear as a bell, saying, "Thank you for bringing me home. This balloon is my magic flyer. I've been lost for so long." The four friends' jaws dropped. Lucy exclaimed, "You're a rainbow bird?" "You're so pretty." The bird nodded. "I've been waiting up here forever and you finally found me." They sat on the cloud, watching the rainbow bird flutter around, its colors lighting up their faces like a warm, glowing rainbow. Lucy said, "With you all here, I'm not afraid of any adventure." Eddie sighed. "Yeah, and I didn't fall." Max giggled. "I thought there'd be carrots, but this bird is even better." Bella added, "Next time I'll bring bamboo to play with the bird." That night they took pieces of the rainbow egg home as keepsakes. Lucy hung hers by her wind chimes. Eddie tucked his in his bone pile. Max hid his in the flower bushes, and Bella tied hers to her bamboo stick. From then on, whenever a rainbow appeared in the sky, they'd remember this special journey, their hearts feeling warm and cozy. Little adventurers, that's the end of tonight's story. Close your eyes, let the rainbow bird song carry you into sweet dreams. Good night, sleep tight.